So the way this usually works is that we sit here for about a couple seconds, see if anything funny happens.
Yeah.
And then we roll the intro, which is just me saying roll the intro.
Okay.
And then we start.
Okay.
So we'll see if something
nothing
funny
is happening.
So it's not gonna start until something funny happens.
It depends. Sometimes the intro isn't funny, and we just have to kind of go with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then other times
someone says something funny and
somebody says something dumb.
That happens to be the intro.
I don't think that's going to happen this time.
I don't think so either.
So in that case, roll the intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Subject Matter. I'm your host, Stephen Jenkins, whose mic is just not in the right position at all whatsoever, so we're going to fix that. Your co-host, Mr. Jonathan Dayton, and our special guest, Mr. David Pierre. We are experts in nothing here to give you our thoughts and opinions on all of it. So this is a big night tonight because this is... We were having this discussion just a second ago.
We were.
Because the question was asked whether you're our first international guest that we've had. Mm-hmm. Kind of. Because we did have a guest a couple months ago who was in, I forget what country in Africa, or maybe up in, where was it again?
I think it was like Asia, Russian area.
Right. We'll throw it up on the screen here, and it'll the place is escaping my mind right now, but it's a good episode. But they were also from here. They were from our area.
From the U.S.
David is our first guest who is an immigrant to America. So go ahead and, David, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
Yeah, my name is David Pierre. I'm from Haiti, so I've been to the U.S. For about 6 years. So
it'll be...
7
I guess
years.
it was seven this year, right?
Yeah, 7 this May. It's been very great, and the only issue is the cold.
Yes. That has been so. Yeah. For those who don't know, David is my uncle. You met my aunt Londa, who has been on the podcast back in September around that time. Leech with a handgun, I believe, is the title of that episode. So you met her while she was on a mission trip. And so then, what year was that? Do you remember?
2014.
2014? Okay. I can remember if it was 2014 or 2015. Yeah. And you came over in 2016.
2016.
Yeah. So we're going to go with a couple of different, questions, kind of get your story of immigration and all that. And the ups and downs and all the in-betweens and all that. And Jonathan, I'll ask you if you have any questions to start out or if you want to...
Yeah, no, you're good. I'll think on it a little bit.
All right. Okay. So I guess the first thing that I'll ask, because I always like to start at the beginning. I like to go chronological order.
Yeah, you do.
So what are some of the steps that you had to take to get from Haiti to the U.S.?
Well, when I first met my wife, in 2014, she came as a nurse and I was a translator, but we didn't speak at all. I was trying to translate for other people. And then we became friends. So I sent a friend request with a lot of other people from the group. And then I was trying to teach her how to speak Creole, Haitian Creole. And it's just that to speak, when a man and a woman start to talk a lot, So you create a relationship. And then, it's getting more than a friend. And then, And then after that, we just realized that, wow, we are going to build a family. And then we started the immigration process. But at that time, things were very quick in Haiti. There was no issues. Immigration was very fast. And we applied in 6 months. I got approved. Wow. Yeah, 6 months. But now it's crazy, because of the security issues. Mm-hmm. I even petitioned for my dad. He passed away before he even came here. It takes over 2 years,
Wow.
But for me it was about 6 months. And then I just, when I came here, I was supposed to get married in 90 days. And then, I got married and now have 3 children. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you had said that the reason it's difficult now to get over here is because of security. Is it, you said it's security issues? Or
because the embassy is closed.
Gotcha.
Because of the gang issues,
Okay.
Like, it is easier to become the president of the U.S. than coming here legally.
Really?
It's the immigration is, oh my goodness, the amount of papers and questions is insane.
Well, and because you have dual citizenship now, I believe. Is that correct?
Actually, I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
But because of the Asian law, so you cannot have dual citizenship.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you have to accept only one.
Yeah.
And that was something that was going to be one of my questions too. So obviously you came over originally on a marriage visa, I think, right? Next step is green card.
A green card,
you went for citizenship. Tell us about that. What the process is like, because you have to take like a class, a test on it or something.
Yeah. I mean, the green card was fine. You have to prove that you have a legit relationship. They wouldn't want you to just marry someone to just be here. You know what I mean? Or to marry someone for because people have a business marriage, like where they married. Yeah. So you have to go to all the interviews. But once you get your green card, after 3 years, I applied for citizenship. And then, you have to take a test. It was about, they give you 100 questions where they're going to ask you only 10. And then, if you answer like the first 6 correctly, you just pass. But many Americans cannot pass that.
Cannot pass it. And that's what I've heard, that a lot of Americans don't know those questions on that test. Are there any examples that you remember, things that you think maybe not the typical American would remember, or...
I think, it all depends. I think they were asking, how many states, many American knows that, when the U.S. bought Louisiana from France, what year and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And year of the, the U.S. become like a nation in all the first states, because, before all this, they were divided.
Right. Yeah. The colonies.
So, but as of now, I don't remember anything. I just
that's all right, because I guarantee you, 99% of Americans probably wouldn't have any idea as well. And I mean 99, probably pretty accurately.
Pretty accurately,
because I'm not sure if I could say exactly what year Louisiana was purchased.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I can name a decent amount of the 13 colonies, but probably not any specific year. So, and now when you already knew English before you came over.
Yeah.
Correct?
I did.
You know how many different languages? A couple, right?
3.
3? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you know Haitian, Creole?
Yeah, French and English. And a little bit of Spanish too, because in Haiti school, you have to take Spanish, and English, and Creole and French.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, as a requirement to take multiple languages?
Yeah, it's a requirement.
Wow. Okay.
That should be a requirement.
It should be a requirement here, but it's definitely not a requirement here.
So... now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I remember you saying that you were self-taught in some of those languages, or in English, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, for English I went to school because, here's what's happened. I didn't finish high school until 24 years old.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, in Haiti, it's not like here. Like if you're 18 years old, you're gonna finish high school. You have to pass, and you have a couple exams for the government. They are almost like a board exam, like an exam that you go for something like a nursing exam or a CompTIA exam. Absolutely. Where they send you to a different testing center.
Absolutely.
So this make it harder, and then in that testing center you have 4 teachers, 2 police officers. So I failed about 4 times.
Gotcha.
And then school is very expensive in Haiti, and my dad was like, you know what, David, you have to learn something because we cannot just keep paying for you. And then this is when I started learning English. I went to that school for about 12 months. And but I was very excited because my wife, this was the first American team I was an interpreter for, because I didn't know how good my English was until I just spoke to natives, and stuff like that. But when I came here, until now, English is very difficult. It's almost as difficult as French, but I'm trying to get better every day. You just have to practice and go from there.
No, that absolutely makes sense. I have a couple other questions. I'll check in Jonathan to see if there's anything specific that you had.
I'm taking it all in because it surprises me that the requirements. I would assume that the requirements for education is different in Haiti than it is here. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of shocked that they're required to take multiple different languages versus here. I elected to take French when I was in high school, and I don't know why I elected to take French, because most people in our neck of the woods that, speak a different language is usually Spanish.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so that was interesting. But no, continue.
So you had, when you first came over, Lon, your wife, works as a nurse.
Yeah.
And I forget the timeline of things. So you originally were kind of going back and forth between here and...
In Silver Spring.
In Silver Spring,
yeah.
Okay. And so what was the first thing you did aside from getting married when you first got over here, career-wise or anything of that nature?
Yeah, when I first got here, I saw all the opportunities, and because he is very different in Haiti. In Haiti, you because of the school system, everything is just hard. Like, if you do well in school in Haiti, when you come here, you're gonna just be like a bomb. You're gonna be so. It's because it's so easy here, the school system. And when I came here, I think I went to a couple. I was trying to take a couple online courses because when I was in Haiti, I was in civil engineering, and then when I came here, I was like, man, this is gonna take me a long time. And it seemed that they are not building houses anymore. So,
okay.
This is not. I mean, this is a good field, but man, this is gonna take me too long. As a married man, you have to just get something quick and fast. And this is when my father-in-law just advised me with a program that was from AC, like a cybersecurity program.
AC, Allegheny College.
Allegheny College
one of our
of
local
Maryland.
colleges, for those who don't know.
Yeah. So this is when I started in Silver Spring.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you enjoy, going into the cybersecurity IT field, or do you regret not going into civil engineering?
I think this was the best decision to just switch. Yeah, because civil engineering, in addition to all the math, but there's no flexibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because right now, I can work from home, and I'm fortunate because I don't like being outside in the cold. but
it's cold here.
Yeah, if I was a civil engineer, it was going to be impossible to just
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial experience like transitioning from Haiti to the U.S.? What are for better or worse, what are some of the differences that you noticed? Obviously, we talked about the cold being one of them.
Not a fan of cold weather.
Not a fan of cold weather.
Yeah. Actually, the U.S. just taught me a lot, to become more mature. And when I started, the way things they were just make me just motivate me more.
Gotcha.
For example, when I started, I think my first job was a driver's helper for UPS in Washington, D.C. And it was about 19 degrees in my first day. 19 degrees, and it was windy. And my wife was at work, and I had to take a bus. Imagine that. I was so cold, and my nose, watery nose and eyes. I looked so gross getting into that bus, and people looking at me funny. Because I was, this was my first winter, and then after that, I just, when it was only for a month, and then after that, I got another job at Chick-fil-A. This was one of the toughest job. It was in Silver Spring, where many time in the U.S., if you're an immigrant, when you come here, the job that you may have is the job that nobody else wants. You know what I mean? For example, when I go there, even though I told the manager that, I started school, and he's like, you know what, we have a cleaning position. I say, no problem, working is freedom. But at the same time, I didn't mind to do that. But, coworkers, they just do a lot of strange things, braid their friends and just filming me and just do all the thing. And yeah, they were very, many people, they were very rude, and customers, they treat you very, they didn't treat you nice at all. And I remember many teenagers, they were filming me for some reason. And I told them, you know what? Someday you're going to beg me to take a picture with me. They laughed so bad. They thought I was kidding. I'm like, yes. But, since then, every single step just motivate me to just push forward.
Absolutely.
Actually, when I studied at Allegheny College of Maryland, it was with a certification program. And then after that, when I came here, because we were going to have our first child, Grace, in April 2017, and I went to Lowe's because I needed a job here. The same thing happened again. The manager looked at my resume. He was like, "Oh, do you mind to do a cleaning job?" I'm like, this is what I was doing, and then I just went there, was cleaning like the bathroom at Lowe's in Lavelle, and the job was fine because I was working with a guy called Larry. It was cool, but the downside was, the dumpster, the big dumpster in the back has a big hole. So from time to time we have to go in there to clean it. So, and then, every time, like you have a new child and I mean, this is not your country, you have to just survive. And I just got home and just study harder. And then after that, I got another job at Webster. Yeah, where I mean, I went from making $10 an hour to $12 an hour. Mm-hmm. Oh my! We always had a party because we were so excited to actually have a non-cleaning job that is full time. And then
what was because you said you started working at Webstrong. Mm-hmm. What was the job that you had there? You said it wasn't cleaning.
No, it wasn't. It was like package handler.
Okay.
Yeah, like like you go to the warehouse where all the packages they just came, and just look at it in the computer, you see the address, and you just put it in the right box and just package them. Gotcha. And just send them back. Yeah, and I spent about 6 months there, and then I had an internship from Loisburg, in it's a very old town in Pennsylvania, and then after that I went and get my CompTIA Security Plus, and things started to change, and I started adding credentials, and then this is when I just built a web application, and I showed it to Wayne because I was supposed to have Wayne Snyder. I was supposed to have an internship with them, but it was kind of slow. And then after that, they were interested, and I just got hired at Smart Choice Computer Solution.
And that's a local
local place in
tech
Lavelle.
Place here in our area.
Yeah.
And so from there, you went on, I believe, at some point to Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon
correct?
Web Services.
Working after you graduated, then working in IT, correct?
Yeah. After that, I mean, the story is very long. So after that, when I get my CompTIA and my first IT job, I spent almost 3 years at Smart Choice, where we were doing like, fixing computers and build websites and do like some cybersecurity. And then after that, I started to get a bachelor. I went to University of Maryland Global Campus for a bachelor in software development in cybersecurity, because I love cybersecurity, but I love programming as well, because many times I like to just build things, that can solve problems. And then from there, we just, I just started adding credentials, and even at Smart Choice, they knew that I was leaving. Even my manager, when I started to just do crazy things at Smart Choice, my manager, he told the boss that we cannot keep David anymore because he's just yeah. And then after that, I saw an opportunity like from University of Maryland. They were looking for new grads, and I'm like, I'm interested, and they're like, but you're working full time. I say I can do it, and then this is when I started. That was a big bump because from Smart Choice, going there, I was making way more money. Working for Amazon Web Services, and then while I was at Amazon Web Services, this is when I finished the bachelor in software development, and then something happened. I just moved to PricewaterhouseCoopers, and then now I'm just a application security architect. So where we just we are not doing programming, but we are just reviewing all the programming and platforms before they are going live. And then I just started a master in cyber operations.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm halfway. Yeah.
So it's a cliche, but from the bottom to the top, it's a really inspiring story.
It is, and you're a very humbling guy. I have two questions. One, did you prefer the DC Silver Spring area, and how's that compare to living in Western Maryland?
It's a good question.
Yeah, the DC area is kind of more diverse.
It is.
And but people there are not as nice.
Because absolutely true.
Yeah. This is the same. This is not a U.S. issue. It's a worldwide issue. Like in Haiti, in the big cities, like people they are not nice. They are not as nice as people like from the countryside. The people here they are nicer, and I don't mind to just go to DC and even live there. Because as of now I'm just working fully remote. But I don't know if that's gonna happen someday. If those guys gonna beg me for a picture.
Wherever they are now, if you're watching this episode, you don't get a picture right now.
Yeah.
So, you said you had another question. Right?
Well, it wasn't really a question; it was more of a comment. Like I can relate to your story some. I mean, I didn't come to America when I was in my 20s like you did, but I understand not being from here and the expectations to succeed are significantly more challenging and a prime motivator for a lot of people, and that work ethic to try to prove yourself and become more famous and popular and more higher up than the people that once thought you couldn't do that. And so again, that's a very humbling story, and that I respect you, a lot for, getting to where you are now and, listening to it. So that's all.
No, absolutely. To wrap it up, a couple more questions. I have two more, basically. What is coming from Haiti and coming over here? We talked about it a little bit, but in terms of just, and I know there's a big difference here, in terms of just the culture in general, and obviously America in Western Maryland is going to be completely different than America 100 miles in the opposite direction. But, what are some of the differences, things that you kind of had to get acclimated to? Obviously, for better or worse, things that maybe you thought that's better than I expected, or then also things that were just like, wow, it took a little bit of an adjustment period.
Yeah, my biggest challenge here is the food. I mean, if you ever have to move to a different country, you have to think about that. Food. You might think that you're going to miss your family, but now with technology, you can just
talk to them
FaceTime
anyway.
or whatever. But food. You have to make sure that, because Burger King has been like kind of savior to me, this is the biggest adjustment, the food and the weather, the way it's so cold. And I cannot just,
The weather.
It's too cold. And that's why that we are planning to move, to Jacksonville, Florida, because I feel like, if I can work from anywhere, I should be in a warmer place.
Climate. Yeah. So you said you struggled to get used to the food, which I understand. I've never been through it, but I can imagine. I can imagine. Yeah. So what's something that everybody here loves that you don't understand? I think I know one of these, but I'm interested to hear what
is that. Celery.
Celery. Yeah, okay, that's one of them.
And then sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
Oh my goodness! When I taste it, I'm like.
Interesting.
So you might look at me. Yeah.
Is it also true you're not a fan of mac and cheese? Is that the case?
I can eat it, but
maybe that's somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of.
I can say mac and cheese is fine. I mean, Chick-fil-A is fine. I'm getting used to Chick-fil-A now.
Okay.
But the first time when I first came here in Western Maryland, I tried it like a tea. I was like, oh my goodness, how did you guys just drink it?
So
what's your favorite?
I was gonna say
American food now.
What's the favorite thing that you've gotten a taste of?
It's JJ's. The
JJ's chicken wings. Not a sponsor, but they could be. Yeah. That's
the best one.
You and I are on the same page there. Yeah. That's my favorite meal, actually.
With the blue cheese too.
Yeah, the blue cheese.
I always, I've not so much as much anymore, but the first couple of years of you being here, I always used you as an excuse to ask our family to order some wings on Sunday nights because I knew that you liked them too.
Yeah.
So you've been here for almost 7 years now, married for that amount of time, and you have 3 kids. Yeah. Got risen up the ranks as far as the job goes. So you said you're planning to move to Jacksonville. So what's next? What's on the horizon? What's in the plan for you?
Yeah, I don't really know because I probably get more degrees because I forgot to mention that all my 3 degrees, they just as of now they cost less than $10,000.
Good. Wow.
Even the master, included, because I think my associate degree, I paid $4,000 because the first couple months, so I had to pay out of states because my immigration paper, they were not ready, and then for my bachelor, I just pay about I think $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah, because I get a lot of grant and stuff like that. Because at that time I was motivated, but I didn't have enough money.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And then now for my master, the organization I'm working for, they have a reimbursement program. When you pass your class with an A, they pay like $5,250 a year
towards the program.
Yeah, they already pay last year and this year, and this is what I'm just going to use. I'm going to pay only $3,000 for the entire program, and I don't know, maybe that might be very strange. Maybe I get another master in business administration.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty more things we could talk about.
And we should have a part.
That's a 7-year journey.
We need a part 2.
We could absolutely do part 2. That's a 7-year journey in about 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So, awesome discussion. Thank you so much we've been trying to plan this for a couple months, and things have just come up. We were trying to do it the last night before filming, but then big snow blizzard and everything. So finally got.
Did you enjoy the snowstorm? How cold it was and all the snow?
I didn't even look outside.
Fair enough.
I didn't either, actually. I was supposed to have a meeting with Jonathan, and
I was like, hey, Steven, you want to reschedule for tomorrow? He's like, why? And I'm like, well.
And then I said, I just looked outside. Never mind. So thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. Ring the notification bell. As always, we don't have an outro. We'll see you later.